Welcome back, dear listener, to another journey into the tranquil shadows of folklore. Tonight, we travel across the sea to the ancient and mystical lands of Japan, a world where the line between reality and spirit is as thin as a whisper. We're going to dim the lights on the quiet beauty of the countryside and peer into its more unsettling corners, where vengeful ghosts and monstrous spirits called yokai wait in the darkness. These are not just tales for children, they are stories that reflect the fears, sorrows, and moral lessons of a culture. So, as you settle in and let the worries of your day drift away, prepare to meet some of the most terrifying creatures that have haunted Japanese imagination for centuries. The water is calm, the air is still, and the ancient spirits are beginning to stir. We begin with a creature of terrifying scale, a monster born from the grim reality of famine and neglect. This is the Gashadokuro. Its name translates to starving skeleton, and its story is one of a haunting chorus of sorrow. According to legend, the Gashadokuro is an immense skeleton, dozens of feet tall, formed from the collective bones of people who died of starvation in the countryside. These were people whose bodies were left to rot in the fields, their families too poor to afford a proper burial. Their spirits, denied rest, coalesced into a single colossal entity of immense rage and hunger. The Gashadokuro wanders silently through the desolate countryside and small villages after midnight. Unlike other monstrous spirits that might announce their presence with a scream or a chilling sound, the Gashadokuro is almost silent. You can only hear a faint, soft rattling of its teeth and bones as it stalks its prey. This is what makes it so terrifying. It is an unseen force of vengeance. It is said to be invisible, all but those who are favored to see it. It preys on solitary travelers or people who have been left alone and defenseless. When it finds a victim, it will seize them with its skeletal hands and bite off their heads, drinking their blood to satiate a hunger that can never truly be filled. It will then add the victim's bones to its own colossal frame, growing ever larger and more powerful. The Gashadokuro's tale is a grim reminder of the human cost of suffering, a folklore lesson about the sins of society against its most vulnerable. From a monstrous skeleton, we turn to a more intimate, but no less terrifying urban legend that still haunts the modern consciousness of Japan. This is the Kuchisake-onna, or the slit-mouthed woman. She is a spirit of extreme jealousy and rage, born from a tragic and violent past. The legend states that she was once a beautiful woman, a wife of a samurai. Her husband, suspecting her of infidelity, used a sword to slice her mouth from ear to ear, disfiguring her for life and leaving her with the gruesome wound that defines her legend. Now, she wanders the streets of modern Japan, her face hidden behind a surgical mask, a symbol of polite society. The Kuchisake-onna is most famous for a single chilling encounter. She will approach you on a lonely street or a quiet alleyway and ask you in a soft voice, "Am I pretty?" If you respond with no, she will kill you on the spot with a pair of large scissors she carries. If you respond with yes, she will then remove her mask, revealing her horrifying bloody grin. She will then ask a second question, "How about now?" If you respond with no, she will cut you in half. If you respond with yes, she will slice your mouth to mimic her own, a fate that is often considered worse than death. The only way to survive an encounter is to give her an ambiguous answer or to confuse her. For example, by asking her a question back, you can escape while she is distracted. The story of the Kuchisake-onna is a chilling reflection of societal fears about female beauty, jealousy, and the violence that can be hidden behind a serene facade. It is a modern ghost story that feels unsettling, precisely because it can happen anywhere, at any time, on any street. Next, we encounter a creature that uses beauty and deceit as its primary weapons. This is the Jorōgumo, or the woman spider. She is a shape-shifting yokai, a creature of supernatural power and cunning, who preys on unsuspecting men with a seductive disguise. The Jorōgumo is an ancient yokai who lives in caves or in dense forests, often near waterfalls. She has the appearance of a beautiful and sensual woman, but she is a spider at her core. The Jorōgumo's legend tells of a beautiful woman who seduces lonely men, luring them back to her lair. Once the man is trapped in her web of lies, she will reveal her true form, a monstrous spider with a terrifying face, sharp fangs, and 8 hairy legs. She will then wrap her victim in a sticky web and slowly drain him of his life force. It is said that she can control men by using a special venom or by using her powers of illusion to make them believe they are in love with her. She is a symbol of the dangerous allure of beauty, a warning to men who are easily fooled by a pretty face. The story of the Jorōgumo is a dark reflection on the dangers of temptation and the psychological horror of being entrapped by something that you desired, only to find that it is a monster in disguise. Finally, we delve into the most fundamental and perhaps most terrifying of all Japanese ghosts, the Onryō. The Onryō is not a monster born from folklore, but a vengeful spirit, a soul of a person who died a violent or unjust death. They are driven by an insatiable need for revenge, and their malevolence is so powerful that it can harm not only the individual who wronged them, but also an entire community. The most famous Onryō is Oiwa, a woman who was disfigured and murdered by her husband. Her spirit returned to torment him relentlessly, driving him insane until he was finally forced to commit suicide. The key to the Onryō's terrifying power is that it is not bound by the rules of life and death. Its rage is an all-consuming force that can manifest in the physical world, causing illness, bad luck, and even death to anyone who stands in its path. The Onryō is an embodiment of pure, unfiltered fury, a raw emotion that has no place to go but to destroy everything in its way. The stories of Onryō are a chilling reminder of the Japanese belief in the power of the human spirit, even after death. They are a warning that a person's anger and sorrow can be so immense that it can literally change the world around them, making them a force of nature that is both powerful and terrifying. As the echoes of these stories fade into the night, we are left with a deeper understanding of the world of Japanese folklore. The Gashadokuro reminds us of the terrible consequences of neglect. The Kuchisake-onna tells a cautionary tale about the dangers of deception. The Jorōgumo warns us to be wary of beauty. And the Onryō reveals the immense and destructive power of a human heart filled with rage. So now, let the tranquility of the night settle in once more. The voices of these ancient tales have quieted, and the shadows are still. You are safe in your own space, with no spirits to haunt your dreams. Rest now, and remember that even in the darkest corners of the world, there are stories that can bring us to a peaceful slumber. Good night.